What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be working on a 2011 Volkswagen Routan. And today's project is changing the motor oil. First, you're going to pop the hood. Then you're going to open the hood. Also, to mention, you're going to need to jack your vehicle up with a jack and the jack stands, or if you have ramps, and it's just an oil change, so you can just drive up the ramp and then make sure you put it on parking brakes or put some wheel chucks on the back. That way it doesn't roll back. Next, you need to go under the vehicle and get to the drain plug. That's the drain plug there, and it's going to be a 13 millimeter to break that loose. To let the oil drain out faster from the plug below, make sure you open the cap. On the cap specifies that you should use 530 weight for the engine oil, and also it all pretty much depends on what state you live in and weather temperature. After you've drained all the oil, go ahead and put the plug back in. And then wipe around the area. If you got some brake cleaner, spray around it so it'll be nice and clean. And then we're gonna tighten it down with a 13. And really you can just hand tight it, but it should be around 14 to 23 foot-pound. Alright, so next we're going to change out the oil filter. The oil filter is actually from above the motor, and that's going to be that area there. So what we're going to need to do is take this air vent hose that goes to the air filter. So we'll just loosen that up and remove it, and then we can get to that. First, what we're going to do is disconnect this hose. That's going to move out of the way. And back here, there's going to be a 10 mil that we're going to loosen up the bracket to take the hose out. I apologize. It's an 8 millimeter. That's going to loosen that bracket. And then there's going to be an 8 mil back here, and we'll loosen that up as well. So 8 millimeter, break it loose and turn it by hand, and then it should come right out. And there you have it. So 8 mil there and 8 mil right here. So to remove the oil filter, you're going to use a 15/16 ratchet, and you're gonna break it loose like so. Once you break it loose, then you can pretty much turn it by hand. Make sure you have a towel ready, because it will be pretty oily. And there's the oil filter. So when you replace the oil filter, you have to also, the new oil filter will come with an O-ring that goes right here. So we're going to take the O-ring out, replace it, and then the oil filter. So for the oil filter, you're just going to pop it off, okay, and it clips on that way, okay. And then for the O-ring here, you're just going to get a pick and just pick it and turn it right off. And there's your O-ring. Make sure you, since you have everything apart, go ahead and wipe this oil filter cup to put the new O-ring on and the oil filter. So the oil filter that we're going to use is the Fram Extra Guard, part number CH10955. In the package, you're going to have the O-ring and the filter. First thing, you're going to go ahead and put the new O-ring on. And all you do is slide it on. Okay, and it slides all the way to the bottom of this lip. Okay, and then we're going to get the new oil filter. Okay, it's going to go right in the center of this with this clip. So you're going to stick it in, and you should hear it clicking together. There you go, snaps in, and there you have it. So here's a close-up of where the oil filter goes. Okay, so you're just going to get the oil filter and just slide it in like so, and just turn it. And then we're gonna tighten it down, and just tighten it all the way until it gets flush with the actual motor. And there you have it right there. Now we're going to put the air hose to the air filter back in. there goes my flashlight. Got the hose on, then tighten it up with the 8mm. And then don't forget to put this hose back into the air filter dock. And now to put the oil in. We replace the oil filter, we drain the oil, we took the we tighten up the drain plug, and now last and not least, we're going to go ahead and put oil into the motor. What I like to do is, to not make a mess, I usually put a towel, cover that area up, because if you're not careful, a lot of times you're just going to spill oil. Everybody has their preference on oil, brand and make and stuff like that. I like to use Mobil 1 full synthetic. So, but when you use full synthetic in your motor oil, you always got to be consistent with when you change your oil. So what I'm going to do is, it only requires 4.5 quarts. So I'm going to fill it up with 4 quarts and then check the oil level and see if I need to do the other half. If I need to, then I'll pour the other half. Alrighty, so that's 4 quarts. So let's go ahead and check the level, shall we? Dipstick is right next to where the cap is. Wipe it the first time you pull the dipstick out, and then put the dipstick in, pull it out, check the level, and it looks good. It's at the halfway mark. You don't want to put it over full. A little under full or halfway between cold or hot or low or high is good. Okay. After that, take the filter out, put the cap back on, and you're good to go. Make sure you lower the vehicle. If this helped out, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, I'm always gonna post new videos, so please subscribe.